Hey guys, sorry I did not get this out to you last night. Fell asleep with the computer on my bed and ready to go, and then woke up at 8 o'clock and realized I didn't do it. So one of the big things that we talked about last night at the meeting was news content and sharing articles. But I'm just going to go over a few things that we also had questions about. Um, Inserting the GIFs, we're going to pull up another window. We always use Giphy just because it is the best, or the easiest and like the quickest way to find GIFs, and there's some person gyrating. Anyway, you get some interesting ones on here. So when you want to insert a GIF, let's say we're writing on football. We're just gonna type in here, and this is the one I like, because he's scared and it's funny. Just drag and drop, and then always make sure that your images, GIFs included, are centered by hitting the edit, position, center, and just save it. That is the biggest one. If you have any other questions other than that, let me know. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get into it and figure it out. It's not hard at all. I want to thank you for doing your schedulings. I know it's a pain in the butt sometimes to do 3 or 4, but I promise that it helps in the grand scheme of things. So submission deadlines, you guys have been doing that fine. Social network briefs, remember that your social network briefs are just for a sentence and not for your personal messages. I personally recommend just using this subheadline just because it's a pretty basic thing, intro to your article. If you have questions about what to put in them, just let me know and we can concoct something up. Social shares. A big thing that a lot of you have been doing is scheduling 3 social shares and not changing the date. And as we have found out before, I cannot go in and change the date or it shows up on my page. So we're just going to show you how to do that. You will schedule our Facebook share. You'll type in your message and you're going to click right here. And obviously we won't be in the month of March anymore. Where has time gone? And I'm going to click Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Also make sure that you use a time slot. This is your judgment on the time slot. I wouldn't recommend putting it between the hours of midnight and 8 a.m. just for obvious reasons. I always schedule mine for about 6 p.m. in the afternoon, between, I think it was lunch and 6. Just because that's when people are sitting down and looking at their phones the most. But that is how we do that. Pretty easy. I'm going to get rid of that one. Think that was it on this front. Let me see if I can find... Maybe it was this one. Sorry, guys. I don't know if it was this article in particular, but this is talking about how, this is not the right article, but the subject here, the news subject, or the piece was on the Free Kesha movement, and how, I don't know if you know the details about her case, but basically she said, my producer raped me and they will not let him go with the charges. I would encourage you to read up on that because that is kind of a monumental thing. Anyway, side note, this one girl wrote an article, like with the introduction paragraph being on Kesha and the case and what the verdict was, which she was not freed from Sony Records, unfortunately. and then continued into her own story of sexual assault and rape. Um, and while this was a more extreme example, I'll go over like a basic everyday example. Um, but she incorporated her personal story into a story of a celebrity, someone that we all pretty much know the name of by now. And that's how you incorporate a news into a standard piece. Whereas she could have just written, I was sexually assaulted and raped. Of course, it'd be worded different as titles go. But instead of doing that, she incorporated a current event. As you all know, news is anything in the past 2 weeks or the future 2 weeks. And it can be anything here on campus. News is anything. It's not just what you click on Channel 3 and see. It can be anything and everything. For example, one of our new writers, Alyssa, is going to be writing on the Gardner-Webb Human Traffic Awareness Week and incorporating that into human trafficking stories or reports about it. Not really sure completely yet, so stay tuned for that article because I have a feeling it's going to be really great. But just how to incorporate everyday stories into something. And if you have a question about it, please feel free to ask me because I'm here to help and I want to help you. And we want to get those news articles. They're really great pieces. Also, one of the big things is strikes. One of the other EICs from a different region of the Southeast has decided to do this on her campus, and I think it's a great idea. If you write more than one news piece a month for every news piece you do, I'll remove a strike. Now, this being said, do not abuse this system. Do not strike out each week and then just recover with a news piece. I would like you to keep writing every week. But if for some reason you have a health problem or family issue and you just cannot turn an article in on time or something's going on, let me know ahead of time and I will work with you more than willing to work with you. But if you have a strike and you know about it and you want to get it removed, just email me first or text me and let me know about it. Finally, with shares, one of the big things, with Odyssey is we want to increase our virality or how many shares, how many views you get. But I want you to not be, I want you to be encouraged, and not get discouraged when your article only has maybe 5 to 10 shares. Don't be discouraged by that. I promise that you're getting a lot more page views, and in the grand scheme of things, as far as our Odyssey proficiency level, it counts as the views and not the shares. Shares are just the top 20. I encourage you to invite your friends, family, and insert them in different groups. For example, like if you did the Kesha article, post it on Kesha fan pages or on different sites for rape and sexual assault, things like that. But get creative. And if you have questions about sharing and how to get your articles to go more viral, just ask me and we're going to try and figure it out. I want you guys to remember that I'm new with this too. I'm trying my hardest, very much. And I want this to be good for each of you, and I want you to succeed, and this to be something that is beneficial to you and Gardner-Webb's campus. So if you have any questions, just text me, and once you're done with this, or done watching the video, just text me and let me know, because I want to cut down on meetings, and hopefully we can only put it at 2 a month, because I know you're busy, and I'm busy too. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and see y'all later.